silver lining in the pandemic for me, what really comforted me, a time when I thought all my loved ones were going to die, was
Mm,
Mr. Sam Smith, notorious for
yes.
writing the worst Bond song of all time.
The very worst against very stiff competition. I mean, other people have really tried to do stinkers with Bond theme tunes, but yeah, no, I agree.
He
He
has
beat them
raised
all.
the bar,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah, yeah.
So, what did you make of Mr. Smith shedding his woke tears at his woke mansion?
Yes, I mean, I mentioned that, as you know, in the new edition, because it seemed to me it might have been an inflection point, a point at which people realised actually we don't want that. The public sympathy for all these silly games, the they them business, the non-binaryism, the genderqueer business, the look at meism, all of that, that 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 this wasn't suitable for the time we found ourselves in. Now, I thought that was an epitome of it, but and he epitomized a certain type of spoilt celebrity who we shouldn't be as interested in as we are, and we shouldn't spend as much mental bandwidth on them as we do, because they don't know what they're saying, they don't know what they're doing, they just want to sell albums, they want a bit of publicity. And I hoped that in an era that was becoming serious, because we had serious concerns, we would become less and less interested in. I mean, it's not fair to say unserious people, because of course he's an unserious person. There's no reason for him not to be. It's just that when somebody who sings and dances for a living does end up wielding disproportionate cultural power, you do have to, in a way, take them seriously and attack them seriously. Um, but that moment, I think, it registered with quite a lot of people, and it passed. And already there are people doing those games again. I think all of that, all of those ones, all the gender sort of silliness has definitely gone down a notch for now, because, as I say, there's a sort of limited attention span we have, and a limited tolerance for nonsense. I mean, sometimes it seems limitless the amount of nonsense we can take in. But actually, again, I mean, we are in Britain, we in all countries, we're facing not just large death tolls from the coronavirus, but a worldwide economic depression. Massive numbers of people are already losing their jobs. Massive numbers of people will in the months ahead. And the question then is among other things, um, what else can you take on board and contend with? What else are you willing to have your head and mental space filled up with? And what serious matters are you willing to listen to, and which are you willing to push away? And we don't know the answer to that yet, and it's never totally settled. But I think that some of the frivolity might fall away still. But there's no doubt that on, for instance, the race issue, there are too many people with a very vested interest in whipping this up, whipping it along, making it worse, and making careers out of it as well, it has to be said. There's a huge, huge amount of careerism in the anti racism business, just as there is, it or was, in some of the gender nonsense.